This is News 8 Now, this morning.
We also see people who are coming in for other things to the emergency department who also have hypothermia because they're cold on top of everything else that's going on.
We're so excited to bring this clinic downtown to Elroy. We feel like it's important not only for the health of the population, but also the economic development for the community.
That's what La Crosse Transit Advocates is here to do, is to try to push the envelope further along and to let the transit agency and the public officials know what we as riders really need to happen to make the system better.
Watching my sister get to jump, she's 9 and she's jumping with the junior jumpers, and it's really cool to get to watch them each week and make their progress.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for watching News 8 Now. I'm Dua Estrar. You might notice that Derek's missing. Well, that's because we don't have Derek today. We have the groundhog.
Here I go.
It is Groundhog Day, February 2nd. Are we gonna get spring or are we gonna get winter? Derek, what's your forecast looking like?
Well, my forecast, Dua, from First Warn Weather, which is 90 to 100% accurate, unlike Phil the Groundhog, which is only about 39 to 40%. Because I actually just looked that up. But I can tell you, it's cold this morning, but not for too much longer. We're going to be warming up into the 30s this weekend. We'll talk about that later, but let's talk about what's happening outside right now. And you can see we are currently into those single digits in teens. In fact, in La Crosse, we're currently at 11 degrees here for you this morning. And there's actually some spots here too that are well into the single digits, as you can see there on your screen, with temperatures at around 5 right now in Winona and 9 degrees in Eau Claire here this morning. Look at the wind chills. It does feel like we are into the lower single digits. As a matter of fact, La Crosse, you feel like you're a 1 below 0 here this morning. Now, there's only a few clouds to work with, especially to the north as that front begins to pull through. But overall, mostly clear skies here this morning and only a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day. In fact, we're going to see a lot of sunshine for quite a while here. Temperatures around 20 degrees at 11, and then we are back into the teens as we head into this afternoon and well into this evening hours as well. Wind chills are going to start to drop, though, especially tonight. We're going to talk about that in the full weather forecast in just a bit. Dua?
All right, thanks, Derek. Well, let's get to some news this morning. The Cadett Elementary School was evacuated Wednesday after a bomb threat was found in the girls' bathroom. According to law enforcement and district officials, the threat was written on a wall. The school followed their crisis plan and evacuated all students to the nearby high school. Police, fire department crews, and district leaders searched the building, but didn't find any explosives. All students returned to the elementary school and were dismissed at a normal time. Police and school officials finished their investigation and found the student who wrote the threat. Classes will resume normally today. Wisconsin children have new vaccine requirements. The state's Department of Health Services is making changes immediately to the rules for meningitis and whooping cough immunizations. Also, chickenpox infections must be documented by a qualified healthcare provider. Parents need to check with child care to make sure they have the proper documents. Schools will start the changes for the 2023 to 2024 school year. This comes after 88.7% of students met the minimum vaccination requirement. Last year, experts say everyone is safer when more kids are vaccinated.
Anytime we see a decline in immunization rates, it does mean that fewer kids are protected, and that is of concern. We know that some diseases, such as measles, require a very high level of immunity to prevent an outbreak from spreading.
Talk to your child's doctor if you have any questions about those vaccines. The state has a Vaccines for Children program that can help provide low-cost or free vaccines for those who need them. When temperatures drop, hospitals see a rise in patients for icy falls. And now they're seeing more cases of hypothermia and frostbite. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen spoke with doctors and shares the warning signs you should be looking out for.
A walk outside in the winter can be nice, but when temperatures drop, it can also be risky.
Falls are our #1 cause of traumatic injuries that we see at Gunderson. That covers a whole variety of falls.
Tom Carpenter with Tri-State Ambulance says calls don't always rise when walkways are icy, but the risk outside does.
It's usually the first step, like you walk outside, first time you hit the ice is where you're not prepared for it.
Doctors advise keeping an eye on the ground and walking slowly if you have to.
And it's not just falls that could put you at risk in the wintertime. Doctors say with temperatures this low, just a few minutes outside could put you at risk for frostbite.
Anyone who's outside for a long time can be at risk for this.
Frostbite can look like burning, discoloration, or even numbness in spots.
Good ways to prevent that would be making sure that you have the sensitive parts of your body, like your ears, your nose, your hands covered.
While hypothermia hits the inside.
Signs of that would be slowed speech, confusion, your body's kind of starting to slow some of its usual function.
Sometimes a winter fall can lead to more danger.
If they lay there long enough, they'll get hypothermic, and so it's because they couldn't get up and call for help.
That's why experts say it's important to have a plan.
What would you do in that situation? Do you have a way to call for help? Do you have someone that knows that you're going to be outside or where you are?
In La Crosse, Emily Haugen, News 8 Now.
Now, if any of these things happen to you, you might not always need to go to the emergency room. Experts say the best way to tackle hypothermia and frostbite is by rewarming the body slowly and gently, and you can do that by taking a warm bath.
Reynolds, Mayor of the City of La Crosse, hereby proclaim Saturday, February 4th, 2023 as Transit Equity Day.
Mayor Reynolds and local advocates are meeting to commemorate Transit Equity Days. People across the nation will spend Saturday honoring the work of civil rights icons in their fight for access to transportation. In La Crosse, it's a week-long celebration. MTU riders have been receiving free rides this week with special appearances from local elected officials. Members of the La Crosse area transit advocates say this week is about fighting for better access to transportation for everyone.
That's what La Crosse Transit Advocates is here to do, is to try to push the envelope further along and to let the transit agency and the public officials know what we as riders really need to happen to make the system better.
La Crosse MTU will be offering free bus rides through Saturday. The Holman Area Community Center is celebrating a fundraising goal that sparked some community generosity. The center organized a match challenge fundraiser in December. If they raise $20,000, two community members promised to donate an extra $20,000 each. Center leaders ended up raising $22,000 and now have over $60,000 to support the center's programs. One of the $20,000 donors hoped the challenge would inspire the community.
The whole idea of being able to offer a gift with the inspiration of others matching that gift and inspiring that generosity with others as well.
The center's executive director says $40,000 will be set aside for long-term plans and the rest will go toward rental operating costs for this year. The Coulee Region Humane Society is asking for donations, but this time donors will also get something in return. A poorly drawn rendition of their pets. For a minimum donation of $20, you can give the Humane Society a picture of your pet, and in about a day, you'll get a drawing in return. Now, some of us here at News 8 have been helping out, including yours truly. So if you want one of a kind and hilarious sketch of your pet, go to the Humane Society Facebook page. They're taking submissions until Monday. This right here is actually my dog. I don't know if you guys can zoom into this. No? Alrighty. But this was my dog, Pearl, and she's got a little heart as a nose. So if the Humane Society, you know, keeps handing me over some animals to draw really, really poorly, I'll keep doing that and sharing it with you guys on the morning show. Well, moving on, we're just a few days away from the 100th edition of a Westby tradition. The Snowflake Ski Jump happens this weekend, welcoming jumpers from all over the country. Visitors might spot some Snowflake royalty while catching the high-flying action. Snowflake Queen Kenzie Mori and attendant Maddie Sloan will be there to cheer on competitors. Mori says she will be cheering extra hard for a family member taking flight.
Watching my sister get to jump, she's 9 and she's jumping with the junior jumpers, and it's really cool to get to watch them each week and make their progress.
We've posted a link with a full list of events on our website. That's news8000.com. This weekend, you can catch tunes by the famous UW-Madison Marching Band. This Saturday evening at 7 p.m., the UW-Madison Varsity Marching Band will perform at the Heider Center in West Salem. They'll be playing everything from classics to some new arrangements. Tickets are $25 for adults and $10 for students. If you're interested in seeing the band live, we posted how you can snag a ticket at news8000.com. Well, still ahead on your morning news, thinking about upgrading your phone soon? Samsung has released its new lineup with exclusive features. We'll explain that and what to do if your pipes happen to freeze. That and more is coming up after the break. But for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. It's Groundhog Day, and thousands will make their way to the small town of Puxatawny, Pennsylvania, in hopes of seeing a sign that winter is almost over. The tradition of Puxatawny Phil seeing his shadow began around 1841, and as the legend goes, if he sees his shadow, there will be 6 or more weeks of winter, but if he doesn't, then spring is just around the corner. Now, News 8 will try to have a live stream of him later, so fingers crossed we can have that for you, and fingers crossed that he'll see his shadow. Well, don't go anywhere. More News 8 Now this morning is after the break. The quickness of it all.
Welcome back and good morning. We are looking at a pretty clear sky to start with this morning, but I gotta tell you, it is a little bit chilly outside as we're looking at current temperature readings into the single digits and teens this morning, with wind chill factors feeling like it's actually into those lower single digits and in some spots even below 0 heading out the door for you this morning. Getting a check now on your zone forecast in La Crosse County. Our high temperatures here today will be into those upper teens. Some of us, like Onalaska and La Crosse, will be into the low 20s this afternoon. As we head south, 16 will be the high in Viroqua today. As we head north into Trempealeau County, you're looking at highs around 16 Arcadia. Meanwhile, to the east in Monroe County, mid-teens there for you. 14 today in Eau Claire. Let's get a check now on your schoolcast here. Those of you getting ready to hit the bus stop, we are looking at 12 degrees with clear skies here for us this morning. And as we take you on the way back from school, heading home, 14 degrees, mostly sunny skies, lots of sun really to work with today. It's just the temperatures that we have to deal with, unfortunately. Your dog walking conditions mostly clear for the morning, partly cloudy though for the afternoon. And it does look like by the time we reach this evening, skies will continue to feature mostly clear weather conditions. I'll be back with a check on that full weather forecast again coming up in a bit.
If you're looking to upgrade your phone soon, Samsung has unveiled its latest Galaxy S smartphones. The release includes the new Galaxy S23 series, the S23 Ultra, and the S23 Plus. The new lineup has an exclusive chip and battery that lasts longer and charges faster. The big update is the phone's camera, which the company says delivers quality never before seen on a smartphone camera. The new models are now available for pre-order. The labor market continues to defy the threat of an emerging recession. According to data released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, more than 11 million jobs are available, the highest since July. The new report says the number of available jobs unexpectedly went up in December, but the number of people quitting their jobs was down in December. Economists think this could be the first recession in history without significant job losses. If you're a Tabasco fan, you're in luck. The hot sauce brand has just unveiled an avocado jalapeno hot sauce salad dressing. It's described as a smooth blend of Tabasco's green jalapeno sauce, avocado, and herbs, and I don't know about you guys, but that sounds like a great time to me. Tabasco's avocado jalapeno hot sauce dressing is on sale now on Amazon. A 12-ounce bottle costs $10, but grab yours soon because Tabasco says it's only available for a limited amount of time. Cold temperatures can lead to frozen pipes, which could lead to a big mess. Experts say there are ways to prevent pipes from freezing in the first place, but what do you do if your pipes are already frozen? Hannah Borchert explains what to do next.
You turn on your sink and no water comes out. That's a sign of frozen pipes.
We are fielding calls pretty much every day.
Calls for frozen or broken pipes, especially now that temps are hitting below zero. North Star Restoration Services co-owner Jay Crick says there are some things you can do to help prevent it from happening to you.
Make sure that your under cabinet doors are open. And if the temperatures really drop down low in the overnight hours, you can turn your faucet on to make sure the water is dripping or slightly running.
You can also insulate vulnerable pipes with foam insulation. Keeping your home at 55 degrees or warmer will help.
So put a fan on some of those areas where you know your pipes are more prone to freezing.
Like exterior walls. If your pipes do burst, call a professional to help you.
The first thing we're going to do is we're going to come in, extract the water. Next thing we're going to do is locate where the pipe has burst. We'll get a plumber in there to repair the burst pipe so we can re-energize the water in the home.
Then wait for the fans to do their magic.
Basically just drying the home, getting everything nice and clean and dry, and then once everything is clean and dry, we can put it back together again.
Another tip to make sure that your pipes don't freeze is to make sure no cold air is coming from under your doors. And speaking of cold air, we're going to toss it over to Derek Sibley.
All right, thanks so much for that, Duo. We are looking at a pretty cold start here this morning with temperatures in La Crosse at around 11 degrees, but it does feel like it's -1 when you factor in the wind chills. 5.11 feet is our river stage here along the Mississippi. That is rising here just a little bit. Partly cloudy skies in Eau Claire, temperatures for you at 9 degrees. We're looking at a feel-like temperature, though, of around 1 degree. Southwest winds here at around 5. Current conditions across the rest of the area, mainly into the single digits and low teens here this morning. But as we take a look at now your day planner, we're looking at 12 degrees by 7 o'clock. Now by noon, 16. Partly cloudy, 12 degrees under mostly sunny skies at 4. And then we drop down to the single digits, mostly clear skies by early this evening. With high temperatures today expected to reach the mid to upper teens. Some of us like La Crosse may only see about 20 degrees. Some of the warmer spots there down south. Few clouds here to the north. That is from a cold front moving through, which is expected to move in as we head into the later morning hours around 8 o'clock with some cloudy skies here associated with that, but then quickly clear out once that front exits the area. So then we're left over with mostly sunny skies by around noon today. Temperatures will then be allowed to fall behind it. And then by 6 o'clock, a few clouds here left over, mainly to the north. But you'll notice that the wind chills are also going to be an issue here as that front passes through, because as you can see by the afternoon around 2 o'clock, we are expecting wind chills to drop below 0 in some spots, and it will continue to drop as we head into the early evening. In fact, we could be anywhere between around 10 to 20 below 0 here by around 8 to 9 o'clock tonight. And as we head into the overnight hours around 3 a.m. Friday morning, we're looking at wind chill values anywhere between 20 to maybe even as low as 30 below in some spots. And that's going to continue as we head into early tomorrow morning. But then as we head into the afternoon, around 6 p.m., we're going to be looking at that southerly wind. That should bring us some warmer air to work with. And that should allow wind chills to be a little bit warmer. But it's all really thanks to this cold front, which is moving through the area, which is on its way actually right now. And you can see behind it, we're looking at a much colder air mass moving in from the Arctic, and that's going to bring us some cooler temperatures and also cool down those wind chills quite a bit. High pressure is also going to build in behind the cold air and the cold front, and that's going to allow us to see a pretty quiet weather pattern here to last here for a little bit. But because we have that cold air and wind chills are expected to drop pretty low to about 30 below 0 from that front, we have wind chill advisory starting at 6 p.m. this evening, and that's going to go until 9 a.m. Tomorrow morning. But after that, we will be looking at some much more milder conditions to work with, especially as we head into the weekend and also into next week. As a matter of fact, you'll see highs rise into the mid to upper 30s Sunday. And in fact, we could be near 40 degrees by Monday. Chance of rain and snow early next week. Stay with us, though. We're back with much more news and weather. That's still to come on News 8 Now this morning. For now, we're sending you a break with a look at what happened on this day in history for February 2nd. We'll be right back.
Well, Groundhog Day is today, and as you can see right behind us, They're about to announce if
Their eyes and
Phil
cheeks aglow for
Punxsutawney
cold, clean
saw
air of
his
sweet
shadow
Punxsutawney.
or not.
Yeah,
And
we're waiting
I see
anxiously
that
to see
everyone knows their
what's going to
part,
happen, and we can't wait to
and
show
I
it to you
am
live.
merely the
now,
sage.
Derek, can you explain a little bit about kind of that
But
6
above
week,
all
no
else,
week sort of
I
thing?
see
Yeah, so basically the old tradition
on my
goes
stage,
if Phil sees his
so,
shadow, that
no
we're going to see
matter how
6
you
more
measure,
weeks of winter.
it's 6
If he
more
doesn't
weeks
see his
of
shadow,
winter
then we
weather.
are in good shape and spring will arrive early.
All right, I guess we're getting results.
6 more weeks of winter.
6 more weeks of winter.
So that does mean that he did see his shadow then.
He did see his shadow, so we're getting 6 more weeks of winter.
Yep.
Does it look right to you, Phil?
This is a tradition that's been going on since 1841. Derek, what's the accuracy?
Well, actually, his accuracy is anywhere between like 39 to 40%.
All right,
Unlike
so-
here at First Warn Weather, which
All
we're
right.
about 90 to 100% accurate here.
So even though Phil says that we're gonna have 6 more weeks of winter, what do you think? Since you are 90% more accurate.
Well, I can tell you that the long-range outlook does show that we will be looking at some warmer temperatures on the way. So we will see how that compares to Phil's accuracy.
All right, you guys, we will check back in with Derek in a couple of weeks, and we'll figure out who
We'll
was more
figure it out.
accurate.
I mean, of course
Phil,
you're
the
gonna have-
cute little rodent, or Derek?
Well, I'm just going to say, like, look, you're going to have some cold snaps every now and then, but I think for the most part, we're starting to see a little bit more warmer average than warmer than normal average.
All right, and we'll get that full weather forecast in just a bit, but we're going to go ahead and start off with sports for now.
Welcome to the Blitz. Wednesday was National Girls and Women in Sports Day, and we put the spotlight on a basketball coach that's leading her group of girls on and off the court. The La Crescent Hoka girls basketball team has faced its fair share of obstacles this season, and despite not having 2 of their top leading scorers, the Lancers are still playing some pretty solid basketball. They're 12-6 on the year, 8-2 in conference play, and they're led by head coach Victoria Larson. The Bangor native and Winona State grad is in her 3rd year at the helm in La Crescent. And for Larson, she tells me one of the best parts of the job is getting the chance to connect with her players on a personal level. It's not always about basketball for Larson and the Lancers. Instead, she says coaching is about leading a group of young women, and she relishes that opportunity to do so.
It's so important for them to see somebody who used to be them. And if you can relate to them, you connect so much deeper. We communicate on such a personal level that we kind of forget the X's and O's, and we focus a lot on who they are as a person, and I think that's a benefit of having a female coach.
For us girls, it does feel like an advantage just because we have the woman perspective on our side, we have a lot of empathy. So I feel like I've always had guy coaches through everything, but having a girl coach is a really good change, and I really like it.
Coach Larson is doing something right there in La Crescent. The Lancers are back at it Friday on their home court to take on Cannon Falls. On to college hoops, the UWL women's basketball team back at Mitchell Hall last night, looking to snap a 2-game skid hosting UW-Platteville. First quarter, Eagles up 4, looking for more. Aquinas grad Kaya Steiner drives, banks it off the window for 2. 6-point lead for the home team. Next trip down the floor, check out the footwork here from Lauren Milne, dropping in 2 of her 14 on the night. Eagles go up by 8. Pioneers hanging tough though in the first. Barb Kling is going to pull up for 2. That cuts it back to just 6. Second quarter now. CC heating up from 3. Carly Coltart from downtown. She had 4 of them on the night. Eagles up 6 at the break, and they start pulling away in the third. Steiner, nice find to PDC grad Gabby Ritchie. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Gabby's fan club in the stands, loving every minute of it. Eagles take a 12-point lead, and they snap their 2-game skid with a 70-43 win over Platteville. Shifting gears to the gridiron, one of Bangor's best is heading to the next level. Cardinals senior Jonah Larson, joined by his friends, family, coaches, and teammates, signing his letter of intent Wednesday to pursue his football and academic career at UW-Platteville. Larson was selected first-team all-conference as a junior. He was chosen to be captain of the Cardinals as a senior, leading Bangor all the way to level 4. Larson says he's excited to stay in the state, and ultimately choosing Platteville was more than just football.
The decision was very tough. You know, I had some other options that I could have went to, but ultimately it came down to me wanting to major in engineering, and they're a very good school for that. So that was really the deciding factor for me.
Another high school standout heading to the next level is Aquinas senior Damian Lee. The two-time state champ will pursue his football career at the University of Minnesota Duluth. Lee did it on both sides of the ball for the Blue Golds, helping lead Aquinas to back-to-back Division V state titles. Lee is a first-team All-Conference and All-Region player. He was also selected as an honorable mention member to both the WFCA and AP All-Wisconsin football teams. And his high school career is not over yet. This upcoming spring will mark Lee's third season on the Blue Gold track program. He'll be throwing shot put and discus for Aquinas. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
There's a lot of work to be done as it relates to the needs of black folks. And, you know, we hope that residents all throughout the state engage in deeper conversation and engage in the work that happens here.
It's Black History Month, and to kick it off, Governor Tony Evers tweeted, "We celebrate Black History Month to uplift and honor the countless contributions of Black Americans while recognizing the collective struggle for full citizenship, equity, and justice." A few generations ago, enslaved people were making their way through southwest Wisconsin to freedom on the Underground Railroad. As we honor Black History Month, Andrew Banstra takes us on a tour of the Milton House, a place where the whole community shared the same ideal.
A lot of times when people come here and they realize it's Underground Railroad site, they go, in Wisconsin? Aren't we too far north? So this is what the building looks like when Joseph Goodrich builds it in 1844.
The Milton House is Wisconsin's only tourable Underground Railroad site.
45 feet, pitch black, it was earthen.
The Fugitive Slave Law of 1850 allowed the federal government to capture runaway slaves even in free states. To escape, freedom seekers would arrive at the Milton House in wagons hidden under goods before entering.
And then someone pulls up to a cabin, like, okay, just go inside, jump in this deep dark hole, there will be a tunnel, and on the other side someone's gonna help you.
As cramped as this tunnel is now, you can only imagine when enslaved people were coming through it. It was about this tall and all compacted dirt.
The signs advertising people for sale? For the first black state legislator from Dane County, the complete lack of humanity is a lot to take in.
Even going into the tunnel, going through the tunnel, going into the cabin, feeling the weather climate and saying, in the wintertime, what was it like for my ancestors?
Most Underground Railroads were actually above ground and were only run by one or two people secretly, but not in Milton. The whole community helped.
Then we bring it down to Wisconsin, then we bring it down to Milton.
Learning American history to Representative Stubbs is the only way we can ensure we continue forward to justice.
Today had been the first day of Black History Month, and choosing to be here at a national historic site right here in Wisconsin and being the first African American elected to the state legislature from Dane County, breaking 170 years of history. I am a history maker. I want to meet the history in the state of Wisconsin.
There would have been a trapdoor in the floor that you would have used to get down here. This would have been like their root cellar.
And for $10, you too can learn about Black history right here in Wisconsin. The results of a survey relating to free speech on UW system school campuses is now released. 10,000 out of 161,000 students responded. Most students say they were afraid to express their views on controversial topics in class because they were afraid of other students' disapproval or getting a bad grade. A third say they felt pressure from a professor to agree, and almost half said they don't agree or slightly agree with school excluding controversial speakers from campuses. A bipartisan panel advised the UW faculty members who oversaw the survey, and survey leaders say there are low margins of error. You can find the full results from the survey on our website, news8000.com. Blood centers across the country are waiting to see whether draft guidance from the Food and Drug Administration will expand donor eligibility. The proposed rule change would ease restrictions on gay and bisexual men donating blood, and instead ask all donors about factors that may put them at higher risk of HIV. It may be too soon to say how many more people can become eligible to donate or whether those who currently are donating will remain eligible.
Our reality is that less than 5% of the population actually gives, even though 60% are already eligible. So we just don't know if this will or will not improve the chronic shortages that we've been seeing the last few years.
The FDA is accepting public comment on the proposal for 60 days, but it may take 6 months to a year before those changes take effect if this moves forward. After several years and a couple of delays, Gunderson St. Joseph's Hospital and Clinics have broken ground on its new clinic location in Elroy. The new facility will provide patients with a comfortable care setting. Solar panels will make the clinic 100% energy independent. According to the hospital administrator, a local clinic will bolster the community.
We're so excited to bring this clinic downtown to Elroy. We feel like it's important not only for the health of the population, but also the economic development for the community.
Governor Tony Evers presented a nearly $4.3 million check courtesy of the Healthcare Infrastructure Capital Grant Program. Construction is due to be finished by the end of this year.
Well, we are looking at a pretty cold start here this morning, and today we are going to be looking at mostly sunny skies with temperatures at around 20 degrees. We'll have northwest winds at 15 to 25 miles an hour to make it actually colder than what the actual temperature will be. But for tonight, we drop down to 9 below zero. Still looking at some clouds out there with northwest winds still a little breezy at around 10 to 20 miles an hour to work with as well. For that drive cast out there, make sure to bundle up. Mostly sunny skies for the morning, partly cloudy around midday today, and then green light still in the forecast this evening. Temperatures looking a little cool, but skies looking mostly sunny though. Coming up in a bit, we're going to talk more about these cooler temperatures and also these very low wind chills that are coming up. After all, wind chill advisories may be going into effect yet again for tomorrow morning. But coming up in our Buzz Report, the TV show coming to an end after airing for almost over 2 decades. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, this morning we are waking up to yet another bitter cold start out there. In fact, here in La Crosse, we're at 11 degrees with a feel-like temperature of -1 degrees when you factor in the winds. Out of the south-southeast at around 8 miles an hour. Now, meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, also looking cold here for you too. In fact, colder than La Crosse at 9 degrees. We got a feel-like temperature of about 1 degrees though this morning here for you. 7 degrees right now is the temperature in Winona. We're looking at 1 degrees in Black River Falls, and the temperature in Sparta, you're currently at 2 degrees. But as we head into the afternoon, temperatures will warm up to about 16, followed by 12 degrees at 4, mostly sunny skies, and then by 8 o'clock we drop down to 3 under mainly clear weather conditions, with high temperatures expected to reach the upper teens to low 20s across the Coulee region. We are also tracking a few clouds moving their way south across the area later this morning. That is associated with a cold front that is currently moving through the area as we speak, but those clouds though should begin to diminish as we head into the early afternoon, and I don't really expect a lot of cloud cover either by the time we reach late this afternoon into early this evening. A few clouds though could be possible mainly to the north, but I do want to show you our wind chill tracker, because not only will the temperatures fall behind that cold front, but our wind chills are also going to drop too. You can see we're going to be below zero for feel-like temperatures as we head into the early part of the afternoon today, and then by 8 o'clock tonight our temperatures, feel-like temperatures, will be dropping anywhere between around 10 to 20 below zero in many spots, and in fact even colder than that by the time we reach overnight. Around 3 o'clock this morning in the overnight hours, we could be looking at anywhere between as low as 10 to 30 below zero in many spots, and it looks like that trend is going to continue into early tomorrow morning. And by the time we reach the afternoon, it's going to look a little bit different because we'll have that south wind. That should help warm up wind chill values to be near that 0 degree mark, but some spots may still feel below zero for feel-like temperatures. And it's all, again, thanks to this cold front currently passing through the area. That's going to drag in a lot of cold air behind it to give us our next big cold snap to work with here just in time to end the work week, right? We're also looking at high pressure in place, and that's going to help keep our weather pattern quiet. But the reason why we do have these wind chill advisories in place here for tomorrow is because our wind chills could drop to below 30 below in some spots between 6 p.m. This evening until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So make sure to bundle up out there. But there is some silver lining here.
is that we are expecting some much more milder temperatures to take shape starting as early as this weekend and also into next week. You'll see that here on the 8-day forecast. Highs will be into the 30s Saturday and Sunday, and then we could be as warm as the upper 30s to even pushing near 40 degrees come Monday, but there is a slight chance of rain and snow for Monday with a few flurries possible into Tuesday of next week as well.
After more than 20 years, the Dr. Phil Show is going off air. Host Phil McGraw says he's stepping back from daytime TV for other ventures, but hasn't shared any detail on what's next. Dr. Phil started his TV career in the late 1990s on the Oprah Winfrey Show, eventually debuting his own in 2002. Original episodes of Dr. Phil will continue through the end of the season. Powerade has gotten a makeover. The sports drink not only has a new look, but it also has a new recipe and a new marketing strategy. The brand calls out differences between Powerade and its rival Gatorade and says Powerade is more affordable with twice the electrolytes. The company's CEO said of the new marketing strategy, quote, "We're going to be loud about it. We're going to be proud about it." Beyonce is returning to the global stage for the first time in 6 years with her 40-city Renaissance tour. It kicks off in Europe on May 10th in Stockholm, Sweden. The North American leg tour launches on July 8th in Toronto and wraps at the end of September in New Orleans. Tickets go on sale next Tuesday. Before we head to break, you know what time it is. Look who's 8.
That's right, Dua. Our first one is to a pair of twins, Jackson and Jace, who are turning 8 today. Happy birthday, guys. They love to camp and play sports.
Happy 8th birthday to Dale. Dale loves to cut up wood and fix different things. He's an old Bob Builder already.
Yeah, look at him go. Well, happy 18th birthday to Brenna. Brenna loves Harry Styles and is expected to pursue a career in healthcare.
Brenna, I like Harry too, but I have to say I was a bit more of a Niall girl growing up. Happy 80th birthday to Jerry. Jerry is a commercial fisherman who loves the Mississippi River, and Jerry, I think, is the first meme.
Yeah, because I don't remember seeing a meme here on Look Who's 8, but yeah, that's pretty clever stuff. I am legend and an expert.
Wow. Jerry's
Love
just
it.
letting everyone know about him. All right, well, if you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them soon.
Yeah, just upload their photo to our website. It's news8000.com, and you're going to want to look for that Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab on our website.
Well, stay with us. We have everything you need to know today in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is up next. Time for your... When temperatures drop, hospitals see a rise in patients for icy falls. While hospitals do treat falls year-round, icy walkways and cold temperatures can lead to a different kind of risk. Doctors recommend keeping an eye on the ground and adjusting the way you walk if needed. If you do fall, doctors also say it's important to have a plan.
We also see people who are coming in for other things to the emergency department who also have hypothermia because they're cold on top of everything else that's going on.
Falls, hypothermia, or even frostbite can happen to anyone of any age. Frostbite looks like burning, discoloration, or numbness in some spots, where hypothermia looks like slow speech and confusion. Experts say it's important to make a plan just in case and let someone know if you do plan on taking a walk outside. Wisconsin children have a new vaccine requirement. The state's Department of Health Services is making changes immediately to the rules for meningitis and whooping cough immunizations. Also, chickenpox infections must be documented by a qualified healthcare provider. Parents need to check with child cares to make sure they have the proper documents. Schools will start the changes for the 2023 to 2024 school year. This comes after 88.7% of students met the minimum vaccination requirements last year. Experts say everyone is safer when more kids are vaccinated. The Holman Area Community Center is celebrating a fundraising goal that sparked some community generosity. The center organized a Match Challenge fundraiser in December. If they reached $20,000. Two community members promised to also donate $20,000 each. Center leaders ended up raising $22,000, and now they have over $60,000 to support the center's programs.
The whole idea of being able to offer a gift with the inspiration of others matching that gift and inspiring that generosity with others as well.
The center's executive director says $40,000 will be set aside for long-term plans, and the rest will go towards rental operating costs for this year. The Coulee Region Humane Society is asking for donations, but this time, donors will get something in return: poorly drawn renditions of their pets. For a minimum donation of $20, you can give the Humane Society a picture of your pet, and in about a day, you'll get a drawing. Now, some of us here at News 8 have been helping out, including yours truly. That's actually mine right there.
Nice. I love it, Dua.
And that's actually our producer, Alexia. I said it kind of looked a little, and there's our producer, Leah.
Oh, much better than mine.
If you want one-of-a-kind hilarious sketch of your pet, go to the Humane Society's Facebook page. They're taking submissions until Monday. Well, we're just a few days away from the 100th edition of a Westby tradition. Boy, that is a long tradition. The Snowflake Ski Jump happens this weekend, welcoming jumpers from all over the country. Visitors might spot some Snowflake royalty while catching the high-flying action. Snowflake Queen Kenzie Maury and attendant Maddie Sloan will be there to cheer on competitors. Maury says she'll be cheering extra hard for her younger sister when she takes flight.
Watching my sister get to jump, she's 9 and she's jumping with the junior jumpers, and it's really cool to get to watch them each week and make their progress.
We've posted a link with full list of events on our website. That's news8000.com. This weekend, you can also catch tunes by the famous UW-Madison Marching Band. The Saturday evening at 7, the UW-Madison Varsity Marching Band will perform at the Heider Center in West Salem. They'll be playing everything from classics to some new arrangements. Those tickets are $25 for adults and $10 for students. So if you're interested in seeing the Badger Band perform live, well, we've posted how you can snag a ticket at news8000.com.
All right, as you head out the door this morning, keep in mind we are looking at temperatures into the single digits and teens, but mainly the teens out there this morning. We're going to warm up to about 20 degrees. That will be our high around 11 o'clock later in the morning, followed by temperatures then dropping into the teens again this afternoon. Under mostly sunny, but overall cool. Just overall pretty cold weather conditions, really. But here's a check on your 8-day forecast. It's going to get much colder than that, though, for tomorrow with a high of 9 as that cold front passes through today. And then after that, we get a nice turnaround. High temperatures into the 30s this weekend and into next week.
Now, I know the groundhog said it's 6 more weeks of winter,
right,
but for Midwestern people like us, that looks pretty warm.
It does look like that we're going to be entering an early spring if you believe us here at First Warn Weather. Above average temperatures, that is.
All right, well, thank you for watching News 8 Now. We'll see you later today.